Good morning, students. Today I am going to continue the lesson memoirs of the CHOTA SAHIB, and it is from page number 92, last paragraph. Okay. The south bank was more homely, distances were less, and the terrain smaller. The reserve forests were mostly in one block. It was a country of low hills and valleys. The trees interspersed with villages and cultivation, and the forest itself, mostly of sal, had more the character of English woodland. Here, in this paragraph, the author is describing the south bank side, okay, and he says that though this south bank side is like an ordinary place, but it was very comfortable to live in, okay, and the land part of this area is very less as compared to the north bank side, okay. Here the word terrain stands for land part, okay, and the reserve forests were maximum were mostly in one block, and it was a place of low hills and valleys, okay. Villages were there, cultivation going on in the villages, and trees spread out all over the villages, okay. And he says that there were maximum sal trees in the forest of south bank side, okay, and which is similar to the English woodland. That means in England, the forest in England, there were maximum sal trees as the forest in the south bank side, okay. Two comfortable forest bungalows served our needs. One at Kulsi was delightfully situated on a wooded spar above the river. The other, Rajapara, in a clearing, would have been equally charming if it had not been for the bats which live in the roof. Here the author says that there were two forest bungalows, okay. One was at Kulsi and the other was at Rajapara. Here the author says that the bungalow which was at Kulsi, it was situated on a wooden platform, okay, and which was above the river Kulsi. So it was very delightful, okay. And after that he says that another bungalow was at Rajapara, and this bungalow really needs to be clear as bats live on the roof of the bungalow, okay. After that, their droppings were a constant reminder of their presence, and the fasty smell of bat was ever with us. Now in this line he says that whenever he went there to live in, okay, he could feel the presence of the bats on the roof of the bungalow. Moreover, he could smell a very unpleasant smell which came from the bats, okay. Here the word fasty stands for unpleasant, okay. Larger but less smelly were the huge fruit-eating bats with a wingspan of 5 feet, which live in a tree outside the bungalow and issued forth at dusk in search of food. Here the author says that not only bats live on the roof of the bungalow, but also some bats live on a tree which was in front of the bungalow, okay. And the bats, those who live on the tree, they were larger in size with a wingspan of 5 feet. They were less smelly, fruit-eating bats, okay, and they came out in the dark in search of food, okay. A strange host of ghostly shapes gliding through the air on silent wings. It was like a strange place, as the strange shapes or the strange ghostly shapes, that means the bats were flying effortlessly on silent wings, okay. Close to the bungalow was a large wheel where an earthquake had once lowered the surface and the land became inundated with water. It was an eerie spot where tree skeletons still rose out of the water, a reminder that it had once been a dry land. Here, the author says that nearby the bungalow there was a large wheel, and later he is describing the reason behind the wheel. Okay, it was like that once the earthquake had lowered the surface of the area, okay, and after that the area was the land was covered filled up with water, okay, and we can see the tree skeletons rose out from the water. So this place looks like a very strange place. Okay, and he says that these tree skeletons was like a proof that once this place was a dry land. Okay, and earthquake had lowered the surface, and after that it became a large hill. Okay, thank you. Now I am going to explain the last paragraph of the lesson, Memoirs of a CHOTA Sahib. Okay. In spite of its somewhat magpie associations, however, Rajapura was a pleasant place to work in. And the paddy fields where the jungle fowl gleaned the grain after harvest and sometimes found their way into the pot were cheerful, sunny and open spaces. Here in this paragraph, the author says that though Rajapura was like fearful or strange, but he liked to work there. Okay, here the word magpie stands for fearful. Okay, and the author considers this place as a pleasant place because paddy fields were there. It was like open spaces, sunny or cheerful. So he considers it as a pleasant place. And sometimes the author witnessed some jungle fowl came to the paddy field and pick up grain which were left out after harvest. Okay, and sometimes the author found that those birds went to the farmer's house and pick up grain from the pot which were kept inside the house. Okay, so after that he says that but Kulsi was my favorite. The bungalow was surrounded by teak plantation planted some 60 years before and now almost mature. Now the author says that Kulsi was his favorite and the bungalow which was at Kulsi, it was surrounded by teak plantation. Okay, and these teak trees were planted some 60 years before and it was like almost mature now. In fact, growth in the Assam climate was too rapid to produce first-class teak and a local variety, though a useful furniture would never up to Burma standards. Here, in these lines, the author says that the climate of Assam is very good to produce first-class teak, and the people of Assam use the local variety of teak trees as a furniture wood, and this is very useful. Okay, though this is very useful, the wood of teak which were in Assam, those were very good, and though we considers it as a first class teak, but it was never up to Burma standards. Okay, after that close by was a rubber plantation of Ficus elastica, but no tapping had taken place for some years since Indian rubber was no longer able to compete with para rubber commercially. Here the author says that nearby there was a rubber plantation of Ficus elastica. Okay, and no tapping had taken place for some years because there was less profit. Okay, and one more reason was there, that was the Indian rubber was not good as compared to the para rubber commercially. Okay, Ficus elastica belongs to the fig family, of which several species are found in Assam. Okay, Ficus elastica is which was rubber plantation. Okay, Ficus elastica belongs to the fig family, and among them which several species can be found in Assam. Okay, some grow in an immense size, having started life as climbing epiphytes on other trees. Eventually the host trees becomes completely encased by the ficus, which forms a smooth bark around it. The host dies and the epiphyte takes over it. Here the author says that among those trees, some trees became in immense size. Okay, and at first they started their life as a epiphytes. Epiphytes means those trees who climb over the other trees. Okay, and he says that this Ficus elastica at first started its life as a epiphytes, and after that Gradually, the host trees become completely covered by the ficus elastica. Okay, and gradually the host trees dies and the epiphytes takes over it. Okay, after that, some like banyan send down aerial roots from their branches which help to buttress the huge bulk of the tree. Here, the author is saying about the banyan tree. We all know that banyan tree is our national tree, isn't it? And this banyan tree is also included, is a part of fig family. Okay, and he says that the branches of the banyan trees are very huge or very big. So these banyan trees send down some aerial roots. Okay, and these aerial roots give support to the huge branches of the trees. Okay, and this is all about this lesson, and if you have any confusion or doubt regarding this lesson, let me know. Okay, thank you.